Hello and welcome back. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with today's tutorial. I am little bit late now. I know due to Sunday I just got busy and stuck with some works. So finally coming back with a lot of editorial about just only on budgets and everywhere is budget. So you already have you guys already have covered it and read everywhere. The YouTube the editorials is full of just budgets, so just giving us some highlights and adding some summations and editorials and just making it more regarding the budgets and what is covering here. So so let's have a recap. So the front page covering is the tax bonanza on the middle classes. Second one is about the fresh boost for quest toward a global energy. Budget brings the plenty of pole-bound Bihar in RJD flag lacks of special package. FM proposes many reforms to lift the investors' mood. Third one is covering the flips for MSME classifications norm to be revised. Budget allocations for a key agriculture. Fourth one is about government to remove the FDI cap for insurance. Sixth one is increase in outlay of higher education global scaling. 6.8 lakh crore set aside for defense. Budgets editorial regarding the budget see that ticks the most of the boxes. Viksit Bharat, the budget plays with numbers. Last one, the PM budget has made Purvanchal. So I've already I'm just adding all the slides related to budget. Maybe there's some science and science facts and um, some editorials related to the GS1. I will cover it tomorrow because the whole slide will getting so much longer if I will add everything into. So I have just ended within the minutes. So let's have a recap. Today is the day protecting wetland for our common feature, World Wetland Day. So let's start. So what is here? The first one news that is just making happier to every middle class one is that the income tax up to 12 lakh is free, and people earning at least 25 lakh will save 1.1 lakh. Big push to increase in spending and spur growth. So the tax rate changes. New income tax bill shows the government responsive to the voice of people, says Nirmala Sitharaman. So here it's a 4.4% estimated a fiscal deficit of fiscal year 26 and 1.8% drop in allocations of infra share in budget comparison to the previous year financial, and there is a 1.6% social sector comparison to previous financial year. Sorry, excuse me. Moving to the second is the budget brings the plenty of pole bound Bihar RJD lack of lack of special packages. So here is the heap bound promises on the pole bound state in her budget presentation on the Saturday. The new sleeve of project kept NDA ally Janata Dal United in a good humor while generating envy from the regional parties and as well as taunt from the opposition's Rashtriya RJD, which termed as a announcement empty rhetoric, absence of special packages for the Bihar. So Bihar is set to oppose later year key announcement to 11,500 crore of the financial support Koshi Canal for its western Koshi Canal. So 11,500 crore. Renovations and modernization ERM. The canal projected, the Sitharaman said, would benefit the farmer cultivating over 50,000 hectare in land, and this the positive and progressive budget will give further implementation and accelerate the economy. So the FM proposes many reforms to lift the investor mood. There is the 500 crore for AI Center of Excellence, light touch regulations, is regulatory for productivity and employment. She also created a fund of expanded scope with a fresh contribution of 10,000 crore. In a flip for MSCP classification norms to be revised. So the Union of Budget measures to boost the micro, small, and medium scale enterprises (MSME). One of the major revision is the classification criteria of MSME based on investment turnover. So here the estimated is 5.7 crore for MSME. MSME employs is 7.5 crore people and generated 36% of manufacturing output and responsible for 45% of export. So the classification of MSME will enhance 2.5 to 2 times respectively. Micro small industries can classified with those 2.5 crore investment and 10 crore annual turnover. Small enterprises with those up to 20 rupees 25 crore investment have and 100 crore turnover, and medium skill industries will those of 125 crore investment, 500 crore turnover. So it's providing the policy support, road mapping, governance, monitoring work for central ministries and state to improve the access credit guarantee for micro small enterprises 5 crore to 10 crore, leading additional to 1.5 lakh crore in next 5 years, as well as run exporter of MSMEs turn loans to up to 20 crores. It's a 5 lakh limit. So micro unit registered Udyam portal. So the budget allocation for key agriculture schemes, this is deep. So here the budget allocations for the engine of growth of Union Finance Minister said that Krishi Yojana scheme is likely to be the 1.7 crore fall in 100 district. Shivraj Singh Chauhan helped in all-round development of organization, and allocations for Department of Agriculture and Farmer is 905 crore from the revised estimated. So it's 1272916 crore in the 2024. Pradhan Mantri Bima Yojana crop scheme dropped to 36124. It has got 12.1272 crore for against the 51. So the minister also turned the launch of 6-year-long mission for Atmanirbharta. Moving to the next slide. So government to remove the FDI cap for insurance. So the current guardrails conditions associated with foreign investment will reviewed and simplified. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in 25-26 budget at the heart of measure in central insurance by all by 2047 goal. So the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said on the FDI limit for insurance sector is to 74% to 100%. However, enhanced limit the investment entire premium means, he said, announcing the proposal to remove cap on FDI conditions. So the current guardrails and conditionalities associated with foreign investment will reviewed and simplified. So the government in 2020 permitted the 100% FDI. The Department of Financial Services has initiated the process of public consultations raising the FDI in Indian insurance companies from 74% to 100% at the heart of measure insurance for all by 2047 goal. For being pursued by government. For the PV FinTech Joint Group CEO Sarveer Singh, the reform is not just flows, it about the refreshing the insurance land to ensure every individual and businessman to access the risk protections. The Bajaj Allianz General Insurance MD CEO Tapan Singh said. So the good and services tax on insurance specially cover the 18% grew longer with GST Council. So budget has raised the threshold from 15,000 crore to 20,000 crore. So government to remove the FDI cap for insurance. Let's- I've added this slide two times again. Sorry for just. So the budget breakdown is here. What I'm thinking that I should came with a video where the proper budget survey budgets and where the rupees goes, where rupees comes from. There should be detail budget. I'm just thinking about to put up budgets slides. Let me see if I get a time, then I will just add new slide, a new topic of just budget by adding another PPT. Let me just so if I properly read the budget and then and understand it, then I will make the video on it. So here the transport is 548,649 crore. Defense here is 149173 crore. Pension on the 276. It's about where the rupees goes. Tax administration is 186362 crore. Fertilizer subsidy, food home affairs, and the social welfare is 60,052 plus 0.19. There are the editorials about the union budget that tick the most of the boxes. So the union budget of fiscal year 26 have been represented in a backdrop of challenging domestic and global macroeconomics environment. So the state of economy appeared to be in cylindrical slowdown, led the weakening of urban consumption, lacks luster job growth and investment cycle. The private sector is yet to be turned broad-based. Further, the global geopolitical and geo-economic environment has become extremely uncertain. So here's India's macroeconomic strength remains uncompromised. GVA growth is expected to back in uh, fiscal 24 crore. Account deficit has been lower than longer term, and the buoyant services export. But not at least India's like many other countries, especially in Europe and Latin America, enjoys a political and economic stability. So what the promises have been kept is like a half and full glass empty macroeconomic backdrop. The finance minister rightly chose to retain a focus on macroeconomic stability with a display of prudent fiscal management. At the, house, at the outset, the finance minister not only sprung a positive surprises by revising the current fiscal year deficit lower to the 4.8% of GDP, but delivered on the promises of incremental consolidation. The deficit is 50 bps to 4.4% of GDP in fiscal year 26. So note denoted here the fiscal year 20, which was partially impacted by COVID-19, is a high fiscal deficit of 4.6% of GDP. Hence, it can be now inferred that the bulk of post-pandemic stimulus have been unwounded. This will help to India by preserving the policy space curve to long inflationary pressure and take one step further toward the potential upgrade. One distinguishing feature of recent fiscal deficit is there is a 1.9% and 1.5% of GDP respectively. While in fiscal year 19, while structural improvement revenue receipt has been helped the journey achieved by curbing discretionary revenue, interest, salary, pensions, and subsidies is just growth by 3.2%. An income tax burden which per as budget. So focus on personal implications is in fact when we see through the lens of optimism, reduction of personal income tax burden, recognize the self-occupied houses to the onwards while there was a disappointed among the markets like 3.4% of GDP 3.1%. However, the entire cut of exercises to the general elections, government formation thereafter, and we can now lackluster the momentum in capex disbursement. So the economic survey influence is the holistic feature of fiscal year 26 budget lies beyond a number and intangible gains that could be rapid, which is implemented longer run. A focus in the simplification of tax architecture, migration toward a light touch regulatory. While the budget ticks most of the boxes, long-term fiscal strategies as per budget fiscal deficit in each year is fiscal year 27 such that toward the 4.9% to 51% of GDP range. Viksit Bharat and the budgets play with numbers. So the background of budget 25-26 as in prescribed even an official economic survey has posed the government that settling into third term consumptions and demand slowly public capital. So that the global growth and policy trend pre and post Trumps make it clear that external trade is not likely to much help. So any effort to reverse the slump in growth and ensure the Viksit Bharat 2047 slow by the ambitious to take India to developed country status and domestic demand points to income disparities. The problem seems to be inadequate growth in mass consumption demand domestically following the weakening of unsustainable spell of credit fuel in a rather candid section of earning. Economic survey notes the underlying subdued demand. The trends for rising economic disparity, stable growth, survey concludes require a fair distribution of income. So we had the 15-year peak in 23-24. The biggest form is being disproportionate, tepid and wage growth. So the implicit in budget is the hope that tax concession will be result in spending and also reviving growth. So incentivizing the corporate sector will revive private investment. The 15 lakh crore, 20% selective, there is a transpired despite center, exceptional from the seizures, not shared. The vote bank has been kept in mind. The reticent to tax-friendly corporates and bent consolidating middle class vote to mobilize using Mesotarian agenda. In addition to the some part of commitment to keep central government borrowing, Finance Minister has promised to reduce the fiscal deficit by 4% in 25-26 and increase in total nominal expenditure just to 7%. So the budget promises to hike a capital expenditure by 17% for 24-25. So National Food Security Act years have fallen from 27.3 lakh crore in 2022 to 2023. Despite there is a 90.8 thousand crores 2023, 86,000 crore 24-25 and expected to stay at same level. National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme (REGA). So the foreign angle is similar incentives are being extended to foreign investor as well. The selling on the foreign ownership and insurance sector has been hiked from 100% to 74%. Despite the evidence, such firms can be ruthless. The model of bilateral investment 100% from 74%. So the Viksit Bharat is not just an illusion but is dangerous one. Because basically it was the budget just on the just play with numbers. Like if it depends on the how people will spend, and if the 8 pay commission is forming, then there is increase in salaries also. So it will somehow it will just use their money and So the foreign angle is here. The government also promised to dilute India's model and bilateral investment treaty template to make it more investor friendly. So moving to the next is PM budget has made Purvanchal middle class gig workers happy. So here's the budget that is only gig workers and happy. The budget schemes provided the worth crores for Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand has freed the middle class from paying tax to 12 lakh. Purvanchal is a term of resident Eastern Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, those who hail from capital enterprises. Gig workers basically those workers that who work for their part-time job and they work on the basis of their willingness, if whether it is in the form of the deliveries boys, whether it in the form of kind of any cab driving, if they have a if they want a willingness to do anything that they will accept, and it's not a full time of employment, it just depend on their willingness that they want to do this job or not. So these are gig workers. So they're addressing the 100 of party supporter, Mr. Shah, all gig workers will now register on eShram portal. So here they get the free treatments. So Modi ji has made arrangements referring to the social security scheme for gig workers announced by Finance Minister. Mr. Shah was one of several nation BJP leaders who held the rallies to boost the campaign of BJP, who is looking to return the power in Delhi after 27 years. So here the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also to address his fifth and final rally in the city of Sunday. So the accusing the AAP on engaging in corruption and shelter illegal migration. Home Minister said there is a big wave against the AAP. So the 3G government Ghapla and Kuspatyu Kopana or Ghotala corruption sheltering illegal migrant scam. The BJP leader also appealed to voters to responsible for the riots that was in the northeast Delhi in Feb 22. So Delhi allocations is 100 crore for more year budget than the last financial year. NAP termed as major disappointed. Delhi received 1348 crore a year as a compared to 1248 crore in last fiscal. This included 968 crore under the revenue, 130 crore for the advances of capital head, 280 crore of loans and advances. So that's for today. I'm not adding some science editorial. I will add it tomorrow if some if it seems to be important, because it will get very longer, so that I just added in a very few slides but only related to budget. So let's have a summary from the first page. Is the tax bonanza for the middle class. Second one is about the budget brings plenty of poll bound Bihar RJD flag of special package. FM proposes many reforms to lift the investor moods. Third one is about the flip of MSME classification, norms to be revised. Budget allocation for key agriculture schemes sees deepen. Tips: government to remove the FDI cap insurance. Budget breakdown here. Sixth one is about the increase in the outlay for higher education and global skilling. 6.8 lakh crore aside for the defense. Seventh one is the article about the Viksit Bharat and budget play with number. Eighth one is about the PM budget has made Purvanchal middle class happy. So that's for today. Basically, I am not feeling well today, so that's I am just ending in a very summary way. Just I will come back again with today's editorial with a fresh energy. So till now, good night, take care.